Can you talk a little bit about, obviously you're the kick return guy, but how about the transition back to defensive back? How has that been?
It feels good. Like the past year, I've been just trying to learn the playbook, just get as much knowledge as I can with just being around the defense and being back on the defense again, and just trying to make myself available to play on defense too.
Still gonna lobby for any offense though?
Nah. We talk about it sometimes about going back to running back, but nah. I like to stay back on the defensive side.
What are kind of the main focuses as a returner, heading into your, third season back there?
Like what Coach Slow say to me all the time, do the little things extraordinary well. So I just try to perfect my craft and everything. As long as it's like, does it go to the catch, how I take my angle to get to the touchdown, just being my best self every play and try to be as perfect as I can.
Can you talk about the decision-making process when it comes to that? Obviously, you've kind of, I know that's something Coach said he's harped on. And
yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about what you've been thinking as far as that goes?
That's really one of my key things is now is just making the better decisions, knowing where I'm at, knowing the time of the game. Just every little detail goes on play in the fact because the main thing is the catch is just after not what you do after the catch. It's really just get the catch and get the possession first. So it's just basically trying to get the best field position for my team.
Have you seen any increase in speed over the last few months?
A little bit. I mean, my weight been going up and down. I've been between the 190s and 200. But I still feel the same. I still look at the catapult numbers. It's still around the 20s all the time. So I just try to see if I get faster and faster all the time.
And then how do you feel that some of the other guys that are back there receiving with you, working with, how are they doing?
I feel they good. We got the young Javen, we got Elijah Badger, Daniel Nagata. They all got the same thing, just trying to catch the ball and just have the right decision making every play. That's what Coach Slow, Coach Herm harping us about every time. Is just decision making, and then after that you can do it and show your capabilities.
In terms of kind of your viewpoint, how much returning do you want to do for the rest of your college career? Is it something you want to do for the whole time, or do you want to transition fully over to defense?
No, I think I still like to do both. I still like to get the defensive feel and get the returning feel. Just be able to show I'm versatile with the ball in my hands, without the ball in my hands.
How do you feel so far? Spring practice?
Feel great. Been working on getting my body weight up, working on some being more efficient in my form. So feel good. Been going out there performing, pushing my limits in terms of distance and hang time. So been executing well.
Coach said you're a perfectionist.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
I would say probably my attention to detail. Want to be the best I can every day. So I'm always looking for little things in my form. Watch film every day, picking out little things I can work on. So I think he sees me in there watching film all the time. So I think that's where it comes from.
What are your goals this year?
I would say improve my hang time and consistency, and that comes from working on the efficiency of my form. So I've been working at that day to day. I've been pushing my limits with my body in terms of hang time on my punts. So just for reference, a 5.0 is like a pro punt. So I've been pushing my limits, trying to work into the 5.3s, 5.4s, and be able to hit those 5.0s consistently. So I think if I can go out there and hit, a lot higher percentage of those type of punts, I think my goal would be met.
The efficiency in your form, what does that look like? What goes into that?
Speed of my hands, reference points in my body, being in alignment, having working on the muscle memory and making sure that time after time, that alignment and the height with my drop, little things like that are consistent and repeatable.
Is that something you work like individually from each other, or is that just like an all-in-one process that you have like a game plan each day to focus on?
I would say it's a little combination of both. I have a couple big things that I'm working on. The whole off season I'm working on improving, and then day to day, if I see some small things in film, I'll go out and warm ups the next day, and I'll say, all right, I did this wrong in practice. I really got to emphasize this, or locking out later, something like that. So it's a little bit of both, I would say.
And then for you're talking about the hang time, obviously the 5.3s. Is it tough sometimes too, because you want to get the hang time, but you still want to get that big punt, not really sacrifice distance? What's the balance in that?
I would say, if you're hitting a big hang time punt, if you get your body positioning in the right place, you can always hit over 50 yards. So working on the consistency, getting obviously stronger. That's a big emphasis, and improving my body weight too. So I'm at about 206, 208 right now. I'd love to play the season at 215, and that would make it a lot easier on me because the more body weight I have, the more momentum I can get through, and the more distance hang time I can get easier.
How important is continuity and building that in the spring between yourself and the long snapper and that unit?
I think it's huge, especially this year. I'm also working on holding, so getting the timing down, getting used to how they snap, because each snapper is a little bit different, with where their placement is, where their velocity is. Working on the timing is really important, and just getting it really streamlined so I don't have to go out and think about too many things. I know where the snap's going to be at. I know what their tendencies are. It makes it easier on the unit, and it makes us operate better as well.
With kind of an open kicking competition as well, field goal kicking, that is, do you feel any extra pressure maybe as a holder in that at all? Or?
No, I'm just working on day-to-day being consistent and confident in the holding role, and I think I've gone out and executed really well in spring, so no extra pressure on mine.
Thanks,
So,
Eddie.
Thanks.
Who's starting?
the coach said you made a lot of improvement since last year. Can you kind of talk about your progress?
Yeah, since last year. I've switched up my kick a lot, and I came in here, a little nervous, wanted to take the job right away, and I think being behind those two super seniors with Logan and Christian, that really taught me like where my mentality needs to be like going into this year, and so I switched it up a lot, and having Gage and Eddie like really helps a lot. So I'm kicking it great. Spring, I've had pretty decent spring, so I'm excited, very excited.
How have you changed your kick?
I think the way I approach it, I'm staying up more tall and smooth coming into it, allows me to just do a more accurate kick instead of hitting the big ball, which coming in, like you always want to hit like 60-yard kicks and stuff like that. Now I'm developing where I'm good from 55 in, and I can just hit that consistently.
Coach Wood in the room. What's it like having your dad out there practice? He giving you tips and pointers, or?
Yeah. I mean, he's been my coach my whole life. Since I started kicking, he's been there, and just having him out there as I progress and grow, and now he gets to talk to me more about the mental side of things and more like what he did at that level and what he did at the pro level, and allowing me to grow in that aspect instead of teaching me how to kick. He's fine-tuning some things.
And how
Is there
has
pressure?
Eddie,
I'm sorry.
How
Is
has Eddie adjusted to? How have you adjusted to Eddie holding, and how do you feel that he's doing?
He's doing great. I think we have such a different specialist group. We all know what each other need to do to work hard, and we all keep each other accountable, and I think that's just going to keep growing the more we work at it.
Do you feel pressured, like having a dad that kicked in the NFL?
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
of course. Yes, of
how
course.
do you deal with that?
Just kind of go out there and kick, kind of forget about it. No, I mean, some people might think it's pressure, and I mean, I feel like when I started out it was, but the more I kind of grow into it, I'm like, okay, I can use him as a resource. Like, I have the best resource in the world as a father that I can go and call and just be like, what do I do here? What am I supposed to think about here?
You mentioned he's kind of helping with you with the mental side of things. Is it kind of maybe breathing things to calm you down, or what kind of specifically is he helping you with?
Let's see. So outside of kicking, what to do to regenerate, like how to calm down, and then within kicking, he had this thought mantra. It was head down, lock my ankle, follow through. And he's like, that's what you need. You need to forget about people talking, forget about the fans, stands, whatever. You need to have three things. And mine right now are chest high, shoulders back, and explode through the ball.
You talked about 55 and in. Is that where you feel most comfortable?
Yeah. Yeah,
See
I'm
how-
feeling real confident from 55 in, yeah.
How comfortable do you feel past 55?
I mean, pretty confident. I was out there hitting some 60s today, so, I mean, good, yeah.
What would you say is the farthest you can kick right now?
Right now, farthest I made in practice was 66.
That's not with somebody rushing at you, huh?
No, not yet. I would be very lucky if I ever got that attempt in college. No, that's why I focus on 50, 55 in. It's because that's where 98% of the kicks will be my entire year, time here.
Obviously,
What are some of the pluses and minuses of having a dad like Jay, where you can never go home and just relax?
Some minuses, let's see, we had a little bit of like bashing when I was younger, like I think I'm doing it the way like I think it's supposed to be the way, and he's like, no, you're completely wrong. I'm like, no, I'm right. But as I grow, I'm like, okay, he was right in every single thing that I was thinking about, and it's really just perfect to have him there. Like, I get the best resource I have. So.
Obviously, chemistry is important on the field between the specialists, but what about off the field? What does that look like between you guys?
I think I think the best thing to say about that was we had Ethan Long as the holder last year, and he was introduced to the specialist group, and he said it was the best group of friends he could ever ask for. So we are very tight on and off the field, just great group of dudes.
Well, Ethan was a great dude. So.
He was fantastic.
We're good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Obviously, Dickerson was the kind of snapper last year.
Yeah.
Kind of following him and what you learned working with him.
Oh, definitely a bunch. I think that was a big part of my development and growth here at Arizona State. I think coming in, I thought I would play here earlier, to be honest with you, but I think a lot of guys expect instant gratification when they get to this level and expect to play right away. But he just taught me the intricacies of the position, you know, and how to lead the group, to be honest with you. That's one of the biggest things out of Eric.
A lot of your teammates have talked about the tremendous chemistry, both offensively and defensively. Do you guys as special teamers kind of feel like you fit into both groups in that way, or you kind of walk alone?
Definitely. I think we kind of on our own in the field goal and punt aspect with Eddie and I, and then Jace, Eddie, and me. But I think definitely in punts, we have to get the protection right, and it's all one unit with us. So, yeah, we're all mixed in. I think we mesh well, our unit, with the other guys. I think people respect the work we do. I think with specialists, you kind of get they don't work hard or they're kind of slacking off, but I don't think that's with our group.
What have you worked on the most recently in terms of improving?
Just consistency of my snaps. I think when I first got here, I was more worried about speed and how fast I could throw the ball, but now it's just more about consistency, placement, realizing the calls, and blocking and stuff like that.
I would assume having a tight-knit group as a position group helps building that continuity on the field as well, kind of getting used to each other out there.
Yeah, definitely. It has to do with them trusting me and me trusting them, that Eddie can get the holds and I can get the snaps and Jace can make the kicks and Eddie can punt. So it all goes hand in hand. We spend a lot of time together, and that's what it's all about.
Yep.
Oh, ooh.